Today, we're kicking off an exciting video series where I'll break down your hot takes about the Las Vegas Raiders. If you want to be featured in future videos, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and keep an eye on our community posts. That's where you'll have the chance to share your thoughts. And who knows, your take might be selected for analysis and discussion. For today's video, we're diving into Biggie 6181's bold take: hire Todd Monin as head coach, sign Justin Fields as a free agent, and draft Jaylen Milo. Shout out to Biggie 6181 for this detailed suggestion. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's get started with Jaylen Milo, a potential quarterback option for the Raiders. The Raiders may find themselves out of contention for top quarterback prospects like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. That's where Jaylen Milo could come in as a solid plan B. Milo is an intriguing quarterback prospect who could be worth considering in this year's draft. Let's take a closer look at his background and performance. In 2023, his junior season, Jaylen Milo had his breakout year. He earned the starting quarterback role at Alabama after competing with players like Ty Simpson and Tyler Buchner. Early in the season, his performance was inconsistent, which led to him being benched following a loss to Texas. However, he reclaimed the starting position and made significant improvements. Head coach Nick Saban explained the benching as a move to help Milo adapt his playing style. Saban wanted Milo to become more of a point guard for the team. Losing his starting job was a turning point, and Milo returned as a better leader and player, earning the trust and confidence of his teammates. Milo went on to lead Alabama to a 12-1 record, including an SEC championship victory where he was named MVP after throwing for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns against Georgia. His stats for the 2023 season were solid: 2,918 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, along with 468 rushing yards and 12 rushing touchdowns. Unfortunately, the season ended with a loss to Michigan in the Rose Bowl. In 2024, Milo returned for his senior season and continued to grow under a new head coach at Alabama. Against Georgia, he had an outstanding performance, throwing for 374 yards and 2 touchdowns, while adding 117 rushing yards and 2 more scores. His stats for the 2024 season included 2,652 passing yards, 15 touchdown passes, and 10 interceptions. On the ground, he racked up 719 rushing yards and an impressive 20 touchdowns. While his passing numbers showed some regression, his rushing ability remained a significant strength. Milo's combination of athleticism and leadership makes him an intriguing option for the Raiders as they look for quarterback solutions. What do you think? Could Jaylen Milo be the right fit for the team's future? Jaylen Milo nearly doubled his rushing stats this season, which is an impressive feat. However, it's important to note that he had some rough outings as well. One of his worst performances came against Oklahoma, where he completed just 11 of 26 passes for 164 yards, threw 3 interceptions, including a pick 6, and contributed to a critical loss that kept Alabama out of the college football playoffs. Last night, Milo played in the Relia Quest Bowl against Michigan. Unfortunately, it was another tough game for him. He completed 16 of 32 passes for 192 yards, with 1 touchdown and 1 interception. On the ground, he had 6 carries for just 7 yards and fumbled twice, leading to 3 total turnovers. While these games were clear low points, they don't overshadow his overall development as a quarterback this season. Milo has made significant strides in areas like leadership, deep ball accuracy, and overall efficiency. His college career has been marked by continuous improvement. As a dual-threat quarterback, he's shown a big arm and impressive mobility, making him one of the more dynamic players in college football. It's worth mentioning that Milroe has not yet officially declared for the NFL draft, but most analysts expect he will. Let's break down his strengths and weaknesses as a prospect. Strengths: exceptional athleticism, strong arm, playmaking instincts, leadership on the field. Weaknesses: decision-making and field vision. Pocket presence, throwing mechanics which need refinement, consistency, and processing speed under pressure. Milroe's physical gifts and athleticism make him an exciting prospect. His quick acceleration and powerful running ability set him apart, and his raw potential has created plenty of buzz. While he has plenty to work on, such as reading defenses and improving his mechanics, his upside is undeniable. He's the type of player who could climb draft boards quickly, especially if he has a strong showing at the NFL Combine. Every year, there's at least one prospect who skyrockets in draft rankings due to their physical traits and potential. If Jaylen Milo performs well at the Combine, he could very well be that prospect this year. Keep an eye on him. His journey to the NFL could be one of the most exciting stories of this draft class. One player who really stands out to me is Anthony Richardson. A few years ago, Richardson was an exciting prospect. Before the NFL Combine and early in the draft season, most people saw him as a second or third round pick, more of a developmental quarterback. But out of nowhere, his stock soared, and he ended up being a top 5 pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Unfortunately, it hasn't quite worked out for him so far. This is something I would be concerned about if we were to draft Jaylen Milo. You can't get too excited and take him too high in the draft. To me, Milroe is a second-round talent at best, and I wouldn't draft him any earlier than that. He's a project, a developmental quarterback. If you do take him, you need to make sure you have either a solid offensive-minded head coach or a really experienced offensive coordinator who knows how to develop young quarterbacks. Milroe would benefit from sitting for a year to improve as a passer. He has the athletic ability, but if he can become more reliable as a thrower, he could turn into a dynamic quarterback. Speaking of coaching, one name that came up was Todd Monin as head coach of the team. If they were to go with Milroe, Monin could be an interesting choice. A little background on Monin. He's the current offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens and has a long coaching career. He was the offensive coordinator at Eastern Michigan from 1998 to 1999 and at Oklahoma State from 2011 to 2012, where he helped develop Justin Blackmon into one of the best receivers that season. Monin was also the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the University of Georgia from 2020 to 2022. During that time, he helped lead the team to back-to-back national championships in 2021 and 2022, coaching standout players like Brock Bowers. That connection could be valuable, especially when considering how he'd use Bowers effectively. Monin also has head coaching experience. From 2013 to 2015, he coached Southern Mississippi, taking over a team that had just finished a terrible 0-12 season. By his third year, he had turned things around and led them to bowl eligibility. Monin has NFL experience as well. He was the wide receiver coach for Jacksonville from 2007 to 2010, the offensive coordinator for Tampa Bay from 2016 to 2018, where Mike Evans had a breakout year, and the offensive coordinator for the Browns in 2019. Now, with the Ravens, he's led them to the 4th best scoring offense in his first season, averaging 28.4 points per game. Lamar Jackson has been having one of his best statistical seasons both last year and this year. He's been a fantastic addition for the Baltimore Ravens, and a big part of his success is Todd Monin. Monin's coaching philosophy is all about offensive balance. He's shown great versatility as a play caller, mixing up his personnel and challenging defenses in different ways to keep them on their toes. Monin's style is modern, adapting to both his players and the game itself. He has a solid track record with national championships at Georgia, and last season he was a finalist for the AP NFL Assistant Coach of the Year award. Since joining the Ravens, he's posted a 21-9 record over 2 years. Todd Monin is definitely an under-the-radar head coaching candidate. If the Raiders decide to move on from Antonio Pierce, though it's still up in the air, Monin could be a great choice. He has experience with mobile, run-first quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, and seeing how dynamic the Ravens' offense has been with Monin. Leading it shows that he has the skills to succeed in both college and NFL offenses. He's not a one-hit wonder. He's been coaching high-powered offenses for a long time. What I also like about him is that as a head coach who can call plays, you avoid the issue of needing a new offensive coordinator every couple of years if your team does well. Another point Monin raised was the idea of signing Justin Fields as a free agent. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Fields as a quarterback, but as a free agent option, he could be a decent choice, especially if the team wants to stick with the mobile quarterback route. However, Fields is still young and needs to improve his passing and ability to read NFL defenses. I think it would be better to bring in a veteran quarterback who could help a young guy like Jaylen Milo develop. I'm not sure Fields would be the right fit for Milroe's growth. This whole scenario could be interesting, though. If the Raiders decide to move on from Antonio Pierce, it could be a chance to change the offensive direction of the team. I'd be excited about a modern, dynamic play caller like Monin, but going this route would likely mean starting a rebuild. New players, new systems, and new coaches would take time, but it could be worth it. Let me know what you think about this whole situation, about Milroe as a potential option, and about Todd Monin as a head coach. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel and enjoy Raider-related content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.